Hello there. Welcome to Lee's YouTube channel. I'm Lee and I'm your card interpreter. These are 4 cards that I selected, and I just shuffled the deck like it was a crazy chore. I wanted to really get a good mix, and so I shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and shuffled because I wanted to really have the odds and the element of chance in the mix. I think that's critical to a real reading. You want to have just the most random selection that you can possibly put together. And so that's what I did. I shuffled and mixed and shuffled and mixed and really wanted random without any kind of accidents. My question that I thought of as I was shuffling was, what kind of week am I going to have? I've got a lot of work on my schedule, and I just wondered how it was going to go. I always look forward to having a good week and a productive week. And I've got 2 projects that have come up. One is a research project on a famous mentalist from the 1880s by the name of Washington Irving Bishop. You can look him up if you're interested. It's a fantastic story. And then the other is a possible story I'm going to write about tarot cards and an adventure in a kingdom that's all based on tarot characters. So I don't want to give too much of that away. I am a writer, so I'm always working on some kind of writing project. And a tarot novel about a kingdom of tarot characters sounds intriguing to me. Getting back to the reading here, the first card I drew was the Queen of Cups. She's sort of a mother figure, a kind and caring person, devoted, imaginative, a guiding personality. It's a good first card. And like I say, for my question, what kind of week am I going to have, or can I expect to have? It was a good first card. The second card I drew was the King of Swords. And he happens to be more representative of a father, a leader. Some of his attributes: using one's willpower to one's own end, working towards a goal, controlling leadership, which I mean he's a controller and a leader. Another meaning: determination, discipline, logic, an authority figure, lawmaker. So those 2 were off to a good start. My third card, the 8 of Pentacles. Its meaning: a skilled laborer, a craftsman, attention to detail, pride in one's work. Like I said, I write stories, and I've written a few books, and so that one's important to me too, because I had some writing projects this week. So pride in one's work and attention to detail, those are some things that are kind of a required skill for a writer, as I'm sure a lot of you know. Then I always, if you've watched any of my other videos, I always pick a 4th card as a clarifier. I just like to have all the information that I can, and I can either regard it seriously or not, but I usually take it all seriously. I guess my tendency is to have a 4-card spread more than a 3-card spread. The 4th card to me is sort of the icing on the cake. So as you can see, my 4th card was the Star. The symbolism of the star is hope, a sign of good things, renewed faith, fulfillment of life's pleasures. And so that seemed to be a very good clarifier. Very positive, very powerful. It made me feel real good about the 4 cards and what they could mean towards my coming week and the work that I have planned. And you know, really, when I think of the work that I had planned and spent the weekend thinking about, I almost couldn't have purposely picked 4 better cards. They all really shape up and look good. Now, I use a computer analysis to take a look at the relationship between the 4 cards, because it's pretty simple to read the meaning of each individual card, but then when you want to try to play them all one against the other or all paired off and standing looking at each other, it's a little harder to feel the correct interpretation of what's going on. So I asked for some advice from a friend of mine that's electronic, so to speak. And what I got back was that the first 2, the Queen and the King, seemed very representative of parents or some authority figures that want the best for you and to see you do well. That it means a lot to them to see you succeed. Sometimes mother and father figures, they can argue and disagree on certain things. The Queen representing intuition and emotion, and the mother. The King, or the father figure, logic and strategy. He doesn't want to get muddled up in the feelings too much. He wants to look at it as a business proposition, so to speak. And if you think about it, that's kind of the role of the mothers and fathers. Mom's always there to give you the emotional, secure backup, and Dad's there to tell you the hard truth about things. So looking at those 2 first cards as the authority figures and somebody that's watching my back for me, I thought that was a good indication of the week that could be coming. The 8 of Pentacles often represents a craftsman. And it's a good card for me because it does symbolize, it's really all about work. It's not about having lucky breaks or happening to get lucky. Chance doesn't really play into it. It's more or less going to depend on me and my skills and my discipline. It'll be more about work and doing the best that I know how to do, rather than flipping a coin and seeing which way to turn. So when you put those with the mother and father figure, you've got parents and the 8 of Pentacles as a craftsman, or representing the skills of a craftsman. Looking good, in my opinion. It was the cards I was actually kind of hoping for, in a broad sense. I could use a little bit of encouragement this coming week. Then my clarifier, I almost didn't need it because the 3 cards look so good, but the clarifier, the guiding light, the green light from the universe, inspiration and renewal. And when I saw the renewal part of it, I thought about the last 2-3 weeks, and I've been kind of running on the edge a little bit. Work has gone better than it has the last couple of weeks, that's for sure. So I kept plugging away every day. Every day is a new day. But it was grinding. It was grinding on me. I finally finished off a book that I had been writing, 445 pages. It's called A Seance for Lana. You can find it on Amazon. It's for sale. I'm a self-published author. And I had to give myself a plug, or else why have a YouTube channel, I suppose. You never know. You can read a little bit of it for free when you go to the Amazon page. You can press underneath the book and you can see a sample of it. There's a picture of me there and that, so you can see what I look like if you're interested. And it has a link to several other books I've written. Okay, the self-advertising is over, and I'll get back to my analysis here. So I put it to my thinking resource. What is the meaning of these four together? And I've given you a little bit of that so far, but kind of as to wrap it up, there's a quiet confidence and high output is what I can expect. And that sounds reasonable because what I'm going to be writing about is something that I feel confident about. And the feeling that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing exactly what I was meant to be doing, really made an impression on me. It really made me stop and think, and I'm going to repeat it. The feeling that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you were meant to do. I know that that's almost what everybody wishes they felt about the things in their life, and even where you're at in life. When you're having trouble and you think about it and you wonder how come things are so problematic and I'm always struggling. And there's something really reassuring about somebody saying, somebody in charge that really knows you, saying and making you feel you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? It really is meaningful. And then what you're doing with your life and what you're doing with your time, you're doing just what you were meant to do. And that just really is important. And it really should make you feel something deep down when you're told that. You're where you should be and you're doing what you should be doing. There's no bigger form of encouragement than that, in my opinion. I think that's really great. And I'm kind of making me more excited about the coming week and putting forth the extra effort because the universe is going to be on my side this week. I wonder if knowing that and having this reading this Sunday night is going to give me a little extra push this week to do my best. I hope you enjoyed looking at the cards. These are the Deviant Moon Tarot cards. I've talked about them before, and I think they're really awesome cards. And I get more and more used to looking at them so they don't look quite as strange to me as they did when I first opened the deck of cards. I really like the art because they're very mysterious and lots of symbolism on them, weird looking. So they're kind of like tarot in a way because it's different, mysterious, unusual, not always pretty, but always interesting. Well, thanks for listening, and I hope you come back again real soon. Bye-bye. And God bless you.